Hey there, Wargamers. Austin here with Brush for Hire, along with Chris.
Hello.
And today we're going to show you the contents of the new Dropzone Commander 2-player starter box. This is not quite yet released. I believe it's being released sometime in September, which is swiftly approaching, either that or October, but I know that we're at least a few weeks out. This box contains everything you need to start playing the game, which is quite an amazing game, especially considering its humble beginnings. What's in the box? We have just an overview before we actually take a look. We've got some papercraft terrain. We've got a full-size, full-color rule book. That's actually the 1.1 version, I believe, which has all of the updates and errata rolled into it, as well as fixing spelling errors and all kinds of other things. And they've also moved the printing away from the spine so that you can see everything a little bit more clearly. It also comes with chips and tokens, templates, tape measure, dice, everything you need to play, as well as 2 factions to get you and a friend playing. The 2 factions that are included in the box are the Scourge, which are the quintessential baddies of the universe, come to enslave whatever race they come across. Just ravenous, consuming creatures of the universe. As well as the UCM, which are the United Colonies of Mankind. And they are more or less your Imperial Guard, Green Army Man style army.
Colonial Marines.
Yeah, Colonial Marines, that type of thing. So, it's an excellent box and an excellent place to get started, and even an excellent way to expand quickly if you and a friend already play these factions. They are also the new sculpts and new plastic versions of these models, as opposed to the resin, which is the current state of the rest of the line. The resin models are fantastically detailed, but with the new plastic, there are fewer concerns about bubbles or miscasts, huge mold lines, or misalignments in the mold, which are just inherently problems with resin casting, especially on this scale. So let's go ahead and dive in. We'll take a look at what's in the box, and we'll show you just how awesome this thing is. And it would appear to be just 3 of the same sprue. And let's see here. Let's look at a closer, more detailed look here. Sorry, the camera angle's a little awkward. So this is one of their APCs here, and I think this is just the bottom of it. So flip it over, stick that part on. It's pretty quick and simple. And then we've got these parts here, I believe, go together as one of their drop ships. I think you get 3 of those, 3 of the APCs, and 6 battle tanks, which these are the battle tank bodies here. And you can see the holes for the turrets. And then we've got the turret pieces here. It's 2 different styles of tank. Each one comes with 2 different battle tank configurations. Usually one's good for anti-infantry, one's good for anti-armor. I'm not positive in this case because I actually play PHR, or Post-Human Republic, in this game, so I'm not as familiar with all of the inner workings of these ones, but I can appreciate the details in these. Let's see if we can get them a bit closer. See what we can do here. I think they are really every bit as detailed as any of the resin kits, and because you don't have to worry about bubbles or really huge mold lines, they're a superior product in my opinion. And then at this end down here, we also have all of the infantry. Each box or each faction comes with 6 stands of 5 infantry, so you get a variety of different poses, and those get repeated on each one of the sprues. So in total, you'll have technically, I guess, 30 infantry just on 6 bases. And let's move on over to the UCM. And these are actually much larger sprues. You've got the infantry right here in the middle. You got your 2 sets of 5. Okay, so we have the fuselage here for their dropship, and then we've also got these 2 upper plates here that they just kind of are the big struts, I guess, where the engines are, or some such thing. I don't know what the actual term for the parts of these are. But then we've also got down here at the bottom these little sort of V-shaped straps, and then these pieces right here create the sort of clampy, grabby arms that pick up the tanks. And then we've also got the Bear APC up here. That's like the one thing I remember there being. And actually, it says on the box that we have 2 APCs from each one, but it also says there's a bonus one. So I guess you just don't necessarily need it, but the way that they organize the sprues, it just makes sense to throw an extra one in there. And you've got the treads for the tanks here, and the Bear APC, his little wheels are right here. And then our 2 different arms and 2 different guns for the tanks, which are these guys here. It looks like they're mostly tread, like these are tiny little top shells that attach to the treads. But yeah, that's pretty much it for them. You've got a dropship on each sprue, 2 battle tanks, 1 of each flavor, and 1 APC, plus 10 infantry, which will be split into 2 bases. So up next we have a sheet of bases, and honestly, if nothing else got converted to plastic, I'm really glad that these did. The reason why is the old ones were made of resin, and they didn't hardly ever lay flat, so you had to flatten them back out by heating them up, and the edges were really brittle because, you know, thin resin is brittle. So you'd end up chipping them or cracking them or gouging them when you're trying to smooth them out, and I think the plastic is just a superior material for that. These, instead of being laser cut acrylic, are now injection molded clear plastic, very akin to the way Games Workshop does that. So you've got your flight stands here, and then we have 3 canopies. These 3 teeny tiny canopies are for the UCM dropships, which is really cool because they actually have the pilots molded into them now, and you have the opportunity to paint some tiny little canopies. Up next, really brief, we've got the 1.1 version, even as it blazing on the cover there. So very, very nice, well laid out book. I really like the fact that everything is just tons and tons of detail and photos and really cool scenic shots, and everything's really well laid out. This right here, whoa, hold on. They have a section in each faction that actually lays out what everything is, all the war gear, and what it looks like, which many other factions from many other games would be very, very much improved by the addition of like Tau. Let's just throw that out there. They got lots of war gear and nobody knows what it's supposed to look like. Alright, so now we're through the meat and potatoes of the models and the book and everything. We've got a bunch of little punch out chips and markers here, as well as some punch out templates. I'm sure that the company will make some clear ones at some point, or third-party companies like us maybe might make some. And we've got these really handy Army reference sheets just to tell you what's in the box and show you the layout of what your detachment should look like for these basic starter box games. And looks like a quick start scenario that helps lay everything out for you, includes the stuff from the box as far as buildings and terrain and the map, which is nice. You literally have everything in the box to play this scenario. We've got a couple of these really well-designed poster-sized sheets that are a city ground layout, and on the inside are a giant Dropzone Commander poster, which, you know, once you're done using those or you move on to big boy terrain, you can use those as posters in your game area. What else have we got here? Looks like we've got a catalog of stuff. Ooh, looks like the super heavies we were talking about are right here.
The totem.
Yeah, some really, really nice stuff, and I'm sure that you can find all this on the website as well.
Ooh, a dream snake.
Yeah.
And
Don't you have something kind of like that too?
Yeah, all their walkers look like that.
Fair enough. Some much needed assembly instructions in case you were unfamiliar with how these models are supposed to look and get put together. We've got a package of dice, some little parts for the flight stands to cap into, and a tape measure with the Hawk War Games logo on it. And it looks like the rest of the box is all buildings. Now these are actually, I think, an improvement on what comes in the other box, which I think you have to glue all of this together, but this is essentially glued together and just needs to be snapped down into place. Let's see here. That's actually pretty slick. I think you fold these down, and let's see. I'm sure they won't mind if we throw one of these together just for a demonstration real quick. Okay. All right. That's essentially it there. It's a little bit rough, just from me rushing, but you do have a little lip up top to keep them securely from flopping all over the place, and once they're glued together, they should be relatively sturdy. I guess you don't even necessarily have to glue them all the way together. They hold together fairly well on their own. But you got a ton of buildings here. You got, let's see here, 2 of those, a really big, tall building, another one about the same size as the first one, same size, a little bit smaller, another one that's a little bit smaller, a little bit smaller, a little bit smaller, and another big, chunky building for the bottom one there. And all kinds of different designs and colors, so it's not just an entire table full of the same stuff. So, very cool. Can't wait to get these together and painted and off to Matt and Dave so they can start using them in some very handsome battle reports, I am sure. Depending on what our time looks like, we may go ahead and design some chips and tokens to send off with them. So let us know what you think of those when you see them. So, you've seen what's in the box now, and we absolutely love it. It's great stuff. All of the new additions, the extra details, and just the overall attention to detail. We really love everything that Hawk Wargames is doing right now, and love to paint their miniatures. In the future, take a look to see any tutorials that we do on these. We're planning to do a couple of really quick rundowns on how to do the basic paint scheme on these. They will also be showing up in battle reports on Mini Wargaming's website. These are for Matt and Dave to do battle reports with, so look for them there. And if you guys want to get stuff of yours painted, Dropzone Commander or otherwise, just drop us a line. Chris here is waiting to talk to you about orders and inquiries and things. And you can catch us on Facebook, on YouTube, email us directly at brushforhire.minis@gmail.com. The email address will be in the link, or in the comment section, or I'm sorry, the description below. And you can also catch us on our website, brushforhire.com, where there is a really great quote submission portal that helps get us all the info we need right off the bat, so that you don't have to go back and forth us asking questions and stuff. So,
Also, if you want to get fun and silly quick, buy this starter set and then go buy the super heavies for each faction, and watch things get fun real quick.
Yeah, there's some great super heavy rules out there. So check those out, and other videos from us and Mini Wargaming. And until next time, happy wargaming.
Happy wargaming.